What would you do if you opened up your laptop and went on a web page and it said that the website is unavailable in the United Kingdom? This is the reality that we are walking into, as 2 out of every 5 websites are already blocked here in the UK, and the number is only climbing. Ofcom, the UK regulator, has been sending mixed messages about their measures. They've already admitted that they will be enforcing UK content rules globally, effectively pressuring sites outside of Britain to censor content for UK users. So while Ofcom is admitting that they are doing censorship, you have Keir Starmer on the other hand stating that the Online Safety Act has nothing to do with censorship and that the UK has had free speech for a very long time and they don't believe in censoring speech. In this video, we'll be diving into the latest information about the Online Safety Act, how Ofcom is going to now start banning websites in the UK, and all of the foreign websites that are refusing to comply with Ofcom's authoritarian demands. Let's find out why your favourite websites might soon vanish from the UK internet in the next few weeks. The Online Safety Act was sold as a new law that was going to make the internet safer for children. The language was all about protecting kids, removing harmful content, and making platforms more accountable. Once the act was passed, it became quickly apparent that this wasn't just about flagging dangerous videos. The law gave Ofcom unprecedented power, the ability to demand sweeping changes from websites, issue massive fines, and even cut them off from the UK entirely. In essence, what has happened is that the government now has a kill switch which is built into UK law, allowing authorities to shut down access to sites that do not comply with their demands. By March of 2025, all major platforms were required to submit illegal content risk assessments or face penalties. In July of 2025, stringent age verification rules for adult content took effect, so any site hosting porn or other content deemed harmful to children now must use highly effective age checks, such as ID verification or face scans, to block under 18 users. From the 25th of July 2025, thousands of adult sites either complied with robust age gates or restricted UK access entirely. This is how a law pitched as child protection has swiftly morphed into wholesale internet control within months of it being passed. Let's break down how extreme these powers of Ofcom actually are. First, the deadlines. Once Ofcom tells a website that it falls into the scope of the Online Safety Act, then they get as little as 60 days to comply. This means that a website has been threatened with just under 2 months to re-engineer its entire systems. The second power that Ofcom has is punishments for non-compliance. Ofcom can levy fines up to 18 million or 10% of worldwide turnover, whichever is higher. For big tech companies, 10% of global revenue can mean billions of pounds. Even for smaller sites, fines that add up to millions could be fatal. This means that a niche forum that doesn't comply with the UK rules could be bankrupted overnight. The law even threatens criminal liability for senior managers of these websites in some cases. Ofcom is also able to seek court orders to geo-block non-compliant websites. If a website doesn't follow UK mandates, the regulator can require UK ISPs to cut off access to that site for all users. If this were to happen, then UK citizens would be faced with screens similar to this one. So this page is not available through the ISP Virgin Media, as they have received an order from the High Court requiring them to prevent access to this site. These High Court orders have been issued for websites like the Pirate Bay or Easy TV, which share copyrighted content, so none of these websites can be accessed without a VPN for UK users. Ofcom openly admits that it is prepared to disrupt and block websites from the UK if needed. In effect, Britain now has a legal internet kill switch that it can flip for an entire platform. The scope of targets then Ofcom can go after is unprecedented. These aren't just copyright pirating websites, but potentially mainstream sites like Wikipedia, Reddit, or even WhatsApp can be walled off from the UK internet. There's been quite a bit of backlash, as foreign websites aren't thrilled about being forced to follow UK laws when they're not based in the UK. In August, both 4chan and Kiwi Farms, 2 controversial US forums, had sued Ofcom in Washington, DC. Their lawyers have argued that the UK is trying to regulate the American internet and in the process stomping all over free speech rights. Ofcom has threatened these sites with fines and demands to do UK mandated risk assessments on their content. Their lawyers argue that an American website cannot be forced to follow British speech codes and that the Online Safety Act is a brazen violation of free speech rights if applied in the context of the United States. This case between 4chan and Ofcom effectively puts the First Amendment head-to-head with the Online Safety Act. Gab, a US-based social network, received an enforcement notice from Ofcom and promptly decided to block all UK users rather than even attempt to comply with their demands. Similarly, AI art host Civet AI announced that it would ban UK users starting the 25th of July 2025. You can see here the message says that Civet AI is no longer accessible to users in England, Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland. This is due to UK's Online Safety Act, which imposes strict legal requirements on all platforms. They do not want to do these biometric age checks on users who visit their sites. Unlike they say here, these rules are being applied to websites that operate outside of the UK. So this particular website looked into what compliance would involve, and they realized that it was something that they could not feasibly manage with a team of their size. Also, the legal and financial burden of challenging Ofcom is simply too great. They state that they are heartbroken to block access. They're encouraging UK citizens to contact their MPs and to share their concerns about how the Online Safety Act is affecting access to art, technology and online communities. Major tech companies are also pushing back against the Online Safety Act, especially regarding privacy features. Apple publicly blasted the Online Safety Act as a serious threat to user privacy and security, particularly stating its attempt to undermine end-to-end encryption. Apple warned that the law could force the company to weaken encryption on services like iMessage and FaceTime, calling this outcome unacceptable and a serious threat to privacy of users. Meta was even more direct, as it stated that it would rather WhatsApp be blocked in the UK than to comply with Ofcom's demands. Wikipedia, one of the most safest websites on the internet, has found itself at odds with the Online Safety Act too. The Wikimedia Foundation flat out refuses to implement age checks or identity verification for UK users on principle. They argue that doing so would violate Wikipedia's commitment to user privacy and its open, volunteer-driven model. In July of 2025, Wikimedia went to the High Court in London as they wanted to seek exemption for Wikipedia from the Online Safety Act's harshest requirements. They did end up losing their initial legal challenge in August. The judge, however, was sympathetic with Wikipedia, as he states that the platform provides significant value for freedom of speech and expression, and he warned the government not to implement the law in a way that would significantly impede the operations of Wikipedia. In court documents, Wikipedia even warned that it might have to drastically limit access for UK readers rather than comply with the Online Safety Act. They calculated that they'd have to cut UK traffic by 75% in order to avoid falling under the strictest rules of Ofcom. Wikipedia has also stated that they would rather the website be blocked in the UK than to comply with the authoritarian demands of Ofcom. Let's have a look at some of the most ridiculous outcomes following the implementation of the UK's Online Safety Act. Posts on X that feature the image of Saturn devouring his son, a famous 19th century painting, was restricted for UK users until their ages could be verified. Then you have Spotify implementing age verification checks just to listen to music. Then you have this man here who can no longer access corn websites because the age verification websites cannot identify his face because of all of the tattoos that he has gotten. Microsoft is also starting to roll out age verification for Xbox as a part of their compliance program for the Online Safety Act, so anyone who is marking their Xbox accounts as 18 and over will need to have their ages verified. This rule even applies to accounts that were made over 18 years ago. Several posts on Twitter are also being blocked because of the Online Safety Act. As you can read here, due to local laws, we are temporarily restricting access to this content until X estimates your age. What are your thoughts about the Online Safety Act worsening and now Ofcom beginning to actually ban websites in the UK? Ofcom has already organized over 20 investigations into websites, including 34 con sites that ignored the July age check deadline. It seems like ISPs are going to be blocking even more websites from being accessible to UK citizens, and it's even illegal for me to suggest that you use VPNs to bypass these rules. Despite whatever Ofcom and the Online Safety Act are doing, VPN usage is at an all-time high, and traffic going to legitimate con websites is down, while traffic towards shady con websites with malware malware on them has increased. If there's anything that I've forgotten to mention, then let me know in the comments, and do be sure to subscribe to the channel as a lot of my videos are getting age restricted. It seems like YouTube doesn't like the fact that we are criticizing the Online Safety Act here, so please do subscribe to the channel and support the content so that we can fight back against these restrictions that YouTube is putting on these videos. Thanks for making it to the end of this one, and I cannot wait to see you in my next video. A massive thank you goes out to all of my amazing Patreon supporters for helping to make this video possible. If you also want to support the channel and see your name in the end of my videos, then check out my Patreon, which has loads of perks like early video access and so much more. Thank you for sticking around till the end of the video, and whatever you contribute will mean a lot to me.